Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shay. If you've never tuned into my channel before, thank you for being here today. I'm so excited because this chat is near and dear to my heart. I want to give a little context, but I also want to get straight into the video. So let me just give you a little bit of context. So I am a mom to a 1-year-old. My son's birthday was July 29th. So right now when I'm filming this, it is August 16th. So we are a couple of weeks past the 12-month mark, and I have been exclusively breastfeeding for the whole 12 months. He's never had milk, he's never had formula. He does take a bottle every now and again if I have to run somewhere, but other than that, it's all me. It's all me and my milk. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about what it's been like for the past 12 months and any tips that I have, and just kind of have a chat. I can get more into depth of the things that I would recommend in another video, but for this one, I just want to tell you guys what to expect if you're a new mom, or if you're newly pregnant, or if you are pregnant, kind of understand what breastfeeding could look like for you. And so if that sounds interesting, stay tuned. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Oh, also, if you hear a bunch of noise in the background, it's my son. He's playing. I'm also a stay-at-home mom, so don't really have time to film this video without him being in the house. So just ignore that. Hopefully you can't hear him. Hopefully he won't be too loud. But okay, so let's get into the video. So starting from the beginning, I remember when I was pregnant, I was super nervous about my milk coming in because I didn't have any leakage before I gave birth. I tried to do nipple stimulation actually with the pump before I gave birth to see if I could collect some colostrum and that type of thing. Didn't work. So I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I have milk coming in and I hope I'm able to feed. From my memory, I gave birth to my son at 12 a.m. on the 29th, and we tried to feed not that long after that, and I'm not sure that he got anything, but by the time we went home to the hospital, I had a pump there, so I pumped and my milk had come in. So that was probably about like 3 days later. My milk came in, and from there I just started breastfeeding. So at the beginning, obviously I was feeding like every hour or so. I never got mastitis, and I was super engorged. Being engorged was something that was very typical for me. Like, I was leaking through all of my shirts. I just had so much milk supply, and I had to wear like breast pads probably up until like 6 months, and then my breast milk kind of just like tapered off and kind of like became like more normal. Like it basically regulated itself. Actually, I would say probably around like 3 months. So I had to wear like nipple pads for the first 3 months, and then after that it became like regulated. But anyways, back to the first time I was feeding. So the third day I could tell that my milk was coming in because I was pumping and because I was leaking everywhere. One of the things that really helped me at the beginning was the liquid. It was this sunflower lettucin from Target. I will put all of the pictures of what I'm talking about right here so that you guys can understand, or somewhere right here so that you guys can know what I'm talking about. But basically they're pills that you take, and I think I took 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. I tried to, worst case scenario, I would just take 1 a day, and that helped my milk kind of from like clogging and like getting clogged in the ducts and all that stuff, because I did have that happen a couple times where I would literally just have a hard lump. And so I took those, and that really helped. I also had like these pads that I would put on. I'll also put a picture of them, and I'll also link everything down below if you guys want to purchase any of those things to put in your arsenal of things, or your like bedside cart. So anyways, I also had pads that I used as well at the beginning, because just at the beginning, it's just your milk comes in, it's just like boom, like it just comes at you. You know, it's leaking everywhere. You are leaking every time your baby is crying. It's just a hot mess. So those are 2 of the things that really helped me. And then I tried using the disposable nipple pads, but I didn't really like those. I feel like it didn't absorb well, and they were very bulky. So I ended up using the disposable ones from like Target. It's like just a Target brand, and they worked really well. So I used those for months on end. But yeah, so One thing that was very interesting about my journey is I never woke up to pump. And I know that a lot of moms do that. But one thing that I recommend, honestly, I'm not an expert, but just from my experience with a healthy milk supply, I've been feeding my baby exclusively for 12 months and I never had a problem with my milk supply tanking. I really valued my sleep at the beginning, and I know that a lot of moms will like wake up in the middle of the night even when the baby is sleeping 8 hours throughout the night to pump, and I just decided that I was not going to do that. Buddy, I decided that I just was not going to do that, so I instead just woke up super full, super engorged, and I would pump in the morning, and then I would also feed him in the morning as soon as he woke up to kind of like relieve myself. And I did that probably, actually I pumped 3 times. I would pump once in the morning, once in the middle of the day, and then once at night, and that lasted from like newborn stage probably until like 3 months again, and then from there I switched and I would only do once at night. And I did once at night from probably around like that 3-4 month mark until now. I still pump once at night, and actually last night was the first night in a year that I did not pump, and it felt so good just to like eat dinner, relax, and not have to worry about pumping. That was actually amazing. One of the things that prompted me to make this video is we went to our son's pediatric appointment yesterday, his 12-month appointment, and they were like, you know, now's a good time to start introducing like cow's milk and you can start weaning him if you want. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're at a year. I told myself I would breastfeed for a year and then see how I felt, and I feel good, and I feel like now's a good time to wean him off of breast milk. I eventually want to have another baby, and I feel like now would be a good time to get my body back. Then I have however long to have my body to myself before we have another baby. So that's kind of what prompted me to get this video started. I did deal with cracked nipples and really painful feedings, and during those times I would suggest one of the things that really helped is having those pumping sessions that you are doing. Make sure you freeze that milk, and make sure you kind of keep milk on hand, because I would have to take sometimes like a day or two to just feed him straight bottles when my nipples were cracked and when it was just too painful to feed. I'm not going to. I tried to push through it and it just is not worth it. So give yourself a break if you do end up having really painful situations. Also, another thing that helped are those pads that I was telling you about. They heat and then they cool, and so when you do have cracked nipples, it is really helpful to ice them. And so I ice them, and then also I'll put a picture here as well for this, but nipple cream was a lifesaver. I really liked a more jelly consistency, and so I'll put the one that I liked here. I tried 2 different kinds. One was more oil based and one was more like jelly based, and I really liked the thick. I probably shouldn't have given him a toy that is so loud. I'm gonna turn that off. I'll be right back. What was I saying? Yes, so the nipple cream. So I really like a more jelly, almost like Vaseline, petroleum jelly type vibe. I really liked that better, and it works so well. Like if you use the nipple cream that I just showed you guys, literally I would put it on like multiple times a day, and by like a day or 2 later my nipples would be healed. So I highly recommend. I also recommend, if you do have clogged ducts, this is my little tip. I like massage the heck out of it. I've had several people reach out to me, several of my friends reach out to me asking me what I do when I have a clogged duct, and this works. So like I told you, use those pills every single day without fail. I stopped using them probably around 3 months as well, just because like I said, my milk regulated. But make sure you're using those every single day for the first 3 months. Then also you're going to massage the duct out of your boob. I know it can be uncomfortable, I know if it hurts, but literally kneading and kind of just like pushing the milk out of your boobs will really help. So that's one thing I recommend. And then once you do that, I would also heat your boob, and also like put a heating pad on it or stand in the shower and kind of massage it out as well. Another thing that I have done every single day every single day. You cannot forget this. I promise you, I feel like it has helped me so much with my milk supply. From day one, I have had a body armor every single day without fail, and I still do it to this day. And I really, whenever I've forgotten to drink my body armor, I can tell that, okay, I'm so sorry guys. I'm sure this has probably been chaotic because I feel like you guys could definitely hear the toys in the back. I now have Gracie's Corner playing very low, so I hope you guys cannot hear it, but I'm so sorry. This is life with a toddler trying to film a YouTube video. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, body armor. I can tell when my milk supply dips, or like sometimes I'll like pump at night and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to have a body armor today. And that I'm like, sometimes I pump at night and I only get like a few ounces or a couple ounces, and I remember I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to have a body armor today. Or when I'm traveling, my milk supply always tanks, but it always comes back. So I can do a separate video on how to get your milk supply up, because I've had that happen a couple of times as well, but it's never tanked so bad to where I've had to supplement with anything else. And I think that is the good part. I feel like milk supply and breast milk and all of that stuff, it dips and it has ebbs and flows. So never give up on yourself, and always research, because there are a lot of things that you can do to get your milk supply up. If it does tank, doesn't mean that it's done forever. So anyways, that's what I would do for clogged ducts. Now on to a little bit older. So I kind of talked about what it was like at the beginning. So probably for like first 3 months. And so as he got older, obviously he is now introduced into solids, and so that's changed our schedule a little bit. We still feed 4 to 5 times, but he's not feeding as long, and I don't pump as much. So before, I would get a full 8 ounces on both boobs. Now I'll probably get about like, I'll be lucky if I get like 5 ounces, a full bottle for both. So like 3.5 or like 2.5 ounces on both boobs. So like I said, it changes. It's different. It's different depending on like your baby's needs as well. So that's kind of what it's looking like now. He feeds on demand, I would say, but honestly less on demand and more on a schedule. He never asks for milk, and so now I think it is a good time to kind of start supplementing a couple of those feeds with whole milk, and so I think we're going to be doing that soon. So that'll be in another vlog, but yeah, it's just so interesting to see like the progression of breastfeeding. And ultimately, I just want to encourage anybody who is breastfeeding and who may want to give up. I know how difficult it is. Even now, like, he's older and he has a full mouth of teeth, and he has bitten me several times and it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. Like one time I was feeding him and like he bit me, and I accidentally like popped his hand because he bit down so freaking hard. Like I don't know. It's a journey, and it's a lot of sacrifice on us. I think one of the things that has been different for me, I do think that throughout this, it's been mentally taxing. It's been mentally taxing at times because you just feel like you can't get stuff done. You can't go anywhere for a long amount of time, especially at the beginning. I just felt like, oh, like I would just like to have an 8-hour day just to myself, but I'm breastfeeding, so I can't just walk away from my baby, I think though ultimately it's so rewarding, and I honestly could cry thinking about it, like thinking about not breastfeeding him anymore and him being weaned off of breast milk. It's just been such a special time. And if you desire to breastfeed your baby until they're 12 months via breast milk, I just want to encourage you that you can do it. You can definitely do it. You can face all the challenges. You can face everything head on and ultimately get that experience that you want. It's yours for the taking. And if you can't, that's okay too. Don't get down on yourself. They're great and your baby's fed, and that's all that matters. But I do want to encourage you and let you know that you can do it. And I've done it, and now it's time to enter a different chapter of life. And I'm just so happy that I've gotten to breastfeed this long, and my body has been amazing throughout it all. Physically, I feel great. I'm working out super consistently. I haven't been super hungry. I know some women get like extremely ravenously hungry when they're breastfeeding. I haven't. I feel like my appetite is honestly the same. And so that's one thing that scares me, because I feel like I did lose quite a bit of weight like from breastfeeding. So I'm about like 10 pounds, almost 10 pounds less than I was like pre-baby. So breastfeeding has definitely served me well in that area, and I'm honestly nervous to see if I'm going to like gain weight after, because you're like losing like 500 calories like a day. So I don't know what my body is gonna do, but whatever it does, I'm totally down for it. I just have to maybe adjust some things. And that's just kind of like what breastfeeding is. It's just, you just have to adjust. You just have to adapt. You have to adjust. You have to be willing to lay down your expectations and deal with what is in front of you. And that's all I gotta say, honestly. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I kind of just wanted to get this out here before I forgot about it, because we're transitioning to a new time in our life. But yeah, I'm so, I cannot believe it. I'm honestly so excited to stop breastfeeding also. Like, I could cry about it, but I'm also excited about it because I don't have to like give up my body. I don't have to have milk in my boobs. I literally can just like I don't have to pump anymore. Like, I am so excited. So I don't know how to feel. I'm like a mixed bag of emotions. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I'm gonna go feed my son. He's about to have to eat lunch, so I'm gonna go do that. And if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. I'd love to answer them. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still watching, thank you. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.